Hey everyone, Brittney here with my Lilac Hill. Welcome back. Today I am doing my January 2019 Dollar Tree prep. And what this is an idea I got from a couple of other channels. They were doing a $5 a week Dollar Tree food prep challenge. And the reason they were doing this is to kind of show that you can prep for cheap. So I thought I could do that. I don't have time to go to Dollar Tree every single week, but I do have time to go once a month. So I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of their idea, and I'm gonna do a $20 to $25 a month Dollar Tree prep challenge. So this is January, and as I was kind of walking through the store, now granted I'm lucky enough to have like 5 or 6 Dollar Trees in my town, so I'll probably hit each of them on different months. But as I was walking around, I was thinking to myself, how do I want to divide the money? And so I want consumables, so food and water, or food and drink for that matter. And then I want first aid supplies, hygiene supplies, and survival supplies. And then if there's some money left over, entertainment. Now I don't prep for like a doomsday per se. I mean, sure, I think that it probably could happen, but I'm not really prepping for that. I'm prepping more for just life in general. You never know when you're going to lose a job, or when you're going to come down with an illness, or a family member comes down with an illness that leaves you with substantial medical bills that need to be paid, and so your budget gets cut in half, or even worse. And you just never know what's going to happen. So it's nice to have food and first aid and hygiene and all of this stuff kind of stored up in case of emergency, or to put yourself in a position where if another family member or friend needs some help, you're able to help them. So that's why I do it. I'm not doing it because I'm like afraid of the world ending or anything like that. Do I think it could happen? Yeah, but I'm not going to be afraid of it, but I am going to prepare myself and be ready for it. So this month I spent $21, and I got quite a bit, to be honest. I'm going to go through the food first, and it is Dollar Tree. There's not like a great range of food, and it's not maybe the healthiest option available, but that's not exactly the point, because this spring I'll be growing vegetables, I'll be canning, I'll have some healthier options to supplement this. This is just kind of a very basic, very frugal food prep. So the first thing I got was some elbow pasta. Pasta is going to be really great for stretching a meal, and to get $1, to spend $1, and to get over a pound, this is 1 pound and 8 ounces. So to get 1.5 pounds essentially, that's a pretty good deal. Even at Aldi, which I don't know if you guys have Aldi, but I primarily shop at Aldi, and even at Aldi you can't get that good of a deal most of the time. Now sometimes they do have sales, but I thought that was a pretty good deal. I also got a pretty big can of baked beans. I've never tried this brand, and to be honest, I'm not a super big fan of prepping things that I've never tried, so I probably will try these before I buy any more of them to stock, but I thought it was a good deal. It is 1 pound and 10 ounces, so quite a bit of beans. And then I love to can, and so I got some dry beans. I got red kidney beans, and I got pinto beans, and I plan on using these beans to actually can them. And actually Lisa from Sutton's Days did a pretty interesting recipe with the pinto beans for her Jarred Up January series, and so I think that I'm actually going to piggyback off of her and do that as well. And so I'll probably film that. So these aren't necessarily going directly into storage or on the shelf, but they are going to be part of my food prep. And then I also think that it is very important to have seasonings. You don't want to have bland food. You gotta stock up on seasonings too. And so I got a pretty generic seasoned salt seasoning, just because it could go on, you know, pretty much anything. I've not tried this brand, so I probably will try it before I actually put one in storage. But it was cheap, so figured I'd try it out. I also got some A1 sauce. Now, I am not a fan of steak sauce. If I have a really good steak, not putting sauce on it. But I will use it for things like poor man's steak or venison. So I got some of that to put back. And then the other thing I got was just some generic pork and chicken seasoning. Again, good to have seasonings on hand. Don't want to have bland or boring meals because you're going to get sick of it and you're not going to want to eat what you've stored. So you need to have seasonings. So from there, that's really all of the money that I spent on food for this trip. And then I kind of focused more on personal hygiene and first aid just because I don't have any of that stocked up. I do have some food stores already. My aunts were gracious enough to buy me a couple of tubs of the pre-made prepped food in Mylar bags. I forget the name of the brand for those companies, but at some point I'll show you the tubs. So I've got those down there. So I've got quite a bit of food storage already on top of what I have canned as well. So this trip I didn't focus on food as much as I did first aid and hygiene because I don't have a lot of that stored. So every first aid kit needs hydrogen peroxide and rubbing alcohol. So I picked up some of that. It was really cheap. I also got rolled gauze. So, you know, in case I were to injure myself or something, I've got some stuff that I can cover that wound or whatever it is. Wherever I'm bleeding, I can cover it up, get it to stop bleeding. I also got some waterproof tape from the Dollar Tree, which I was pretty impressed with, actually. There is 5 yards in this container, so that's quite a bit for $1. And then I got some of your basic Curad brand even Band-Aids from Dollar Tree. There's 10 in there, and it says that they are 4-sided seal and 2 times more absorbent. So I figured that would be a good thing to add to my stock. Another thing that I got, which you might laugh at me for, but I shoot guns. I carry, I hunt, I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe that we should have guns, and you know, along with having guns, I think you should know how to operate them, and you should practice shooting, and not just say, oh, well, I have a gun, I'm ready. So I got some earplugs so that when I am practicing shooting, I can protect my hearing. But also, you never know when you might need these in an emergency situation to tune out whatever's happening around you. So I got some earplugs. And then I got hand sanitizer, and I was actually looking at a couple of different types of hand sanitizer. I went with this one just because it has the full cap. It doesn't have the pump. And I went with that because if I had to throw it down in a bag or something, I can reseal this, whereas the pump is not necessarily 100% resealable. You can always like twist the pump back down and lock it, but if it's in a bag and it's jostling around, it can very easily come undone. So I went ahead and got the full cap for my hand sanitizer. And then I got a little container that has Q-tips and then cotton balls and then the cotton pads, which I can turn it around this way, maybe you can see it better. So I thought that was a pretty good deal, and it's in plastic, so I mean, it's not going to be waterproof, but water resistant, so that's good. And then I got floss, because in an emergency situation, not only is hygiene important, and you know, floss is a big part of preventing oral diseases, and oral diseases can in fact be deadly. So I got that for that, but also floss is multi-purpose. If I needed to sew something up quickly, I could use floss if I didn't have anything else. And it's small, it's lightweight, so I went ahead and got some floss. Along with floss, I picked up a couple of toothbrushes. Now these aren't my ideal toothbrush, and it's definitely not what I use on a day-to-day basis. But if I were to go camping and need a quick toothbrush, or in an emergency situation, one of these toothbrushes is better than not having a toothbrush at all. So I went ahead and picked a couple up. And then I've got two more things here. I picked up a couple of bars of Irish Spring. I have made my own soap in the past, and I plan to make my own soap again. But in the meantime, I was out of soap in the bathroom, so I needed it anyways, and this was a 2-pack. So I'll use one and put one back. And then hopefully I will be making my own soap here soon and stocking my own soap instead of store brand soap. But some soap is better than no soap. And the last thing that I got is some oxygen cleaner for the laundry. Again, I don't really like using store-bought laundry supplies. I make my own laundry detergent, which at some point I'll show you how I do that. But this stuff really works to get some stains out, and in an emergency situation, it's already sealed, it's in the package, it's on hand, so I'll have it. But that's really it. That's all I got this week, or this month. So that's January 2019's food prep. Again, I spent $21. And I do plan on going to different stores each time so that I can see different varieties of things that are out there for this. But $20 to $25 a month is not much, and you really can get a pretty decent stock going. And I encourage all of you to do it. And if you do, let me know, because I'd like to see kind of what you're getting, and maybe I might steal some of your ideas as well for my prep. All right, well, until next time, y'all stay chill.